there anybody there? Can you hear me?
It's Maven.
Katie.
And it's
an introduction to Grimm's.
It's Grimm's week.
Well, it is, yeah.
So we're going to do a couple of vlogs on Grimm's this week, but we thought we'd start off with an introduction to Grimm's toys. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Grimm's, who have seen it posted a lot in our group but haven't quite dipped your toe in yet, for those of you with younger children, we thought we'd give you a little introduction as to where to start with Grimm's, how to get the best out of it, and just a bit more general. Now, if we'll start over here, it's the Grimm's 12-piece rainbow.
There's 11 pieces here.
There's 11 pieces. Someone, I think a little child in the shop has run off with our
12-piece.
Our 12-piece. Everyone thinks Grimm's is just the rainbow and that you have to have the 12-piece rainbow. But actually, in the shop, I often recommend it to mums, particularly with young children or mums who haven't had Grimm's
before
or open-ended toys before. Not necessarily to start with the 12-piece, to build up to it. So in that regard, that's kind of what this video is about if you haven't used Grimm's, you haven't really played with it, you haven't really used open-ended toys, let's start at the beginning, move back, and where would we recommend that you start with Grimm's as a mum of a younger child or a mum who's never had really open-ended play toys before? Because I think that's important, because often mums buy the 12-piece, they hear the hype about it, and then they come in and they say,
get a bit caught up and say, what do you do with it?
What do you do with it? My child just looks at it and doesn't know.
Yeah.
And if it's a child that's been used to sitting in front of toys that you just press buttons and it makes noises and that, suddenly putting them in, especially a younger child with a big piece like a rainbow, can be a little bit daunting.
Yeah.
So, Katie, for a mum of, let's start with a mum of a 12-month-old baby, a young child, where would you start?
I think, see the likes of the balls, they're great. You can roll them, you can throw them, try not to throw them at anything glass, they are quite heavy. And the people, they're fab. Nice chunky little shapes.
Are the people from 12 months? They're age 1+, and the balls are age 1+.
Oh, girl did good.
The girl did good.
I'm not just this irresponsible parent who throws all sorts of toys at her child.
I actually really recommend, and we forgot to get it, is the small rainbow for
the dinky small rainbow.
The dinky small, or even I think the 6-piece is nice and chunky.
The 6-piece is chunkier. So to me, the 6-piece is slightly better for a small child. I would take the smallest piece away if I was given the very small rainbow. That one's from 0+. So you've got 6 pieces, nice and chunky, fairly resilient. Again, just great for like little people's hands and work really, really well. Lily is turning 2 in May, so she's not 2 yet, and she'll sit and she'll match her colours, and she just loves sitting playing with the little people and the balls with a smaller rainbow. Alfie will play with a big rainbow. Lily just sort of takes pieces and flings them. Alfie likes to try and stack, but again, he's 4, and he's used to open toys, so
I think the big rainbow is more suited to older children, and I know parents are in this must have the 12-piece rainbow. And I think they get a little bit shocked when I say, you know what, they're going to get a younger child will get much better play value out of that small 6-piece. So if you're in that category, you don't need to go for the big 12-piece, which is £60 odd.
Yeah, £60. It's a lot of money to spend on a toy if you don't know how it's going to be received. So to me, if you start with something smaller, you'll see if your child likes it, and you'll get a little bit more play value out of it in the meantime.
And you can start with a younger child with that 6-piece. And from memory, it's about £23.
23, yeah.
And of course, everything is 15% off this week.
Yep.
So if you're on that Grimm fence, now is the week to jump off it and get in.
So we've got some elements here. So we've got fire and our earth. And again, they're just nice little add-ons. And I quite like the earth because I really like the colours.
I really like those. So going back to the rainbow, I think if you're new to Grimm's, start with the 6-piece rainbow. Combine it with, people ask what to combine it with the friends and the balls. I love the balls. I think there's such great play with them. The beauty of the 6-piece rainbow is they can use it with cars, it can be a tunnel, the little people can sit under it. There's so much they can do to it. It's great to combine it with the Holsteiger animals, which are great for younger children as well.
Yep.
So that set there is a brilliant little starter piece. Next, after that, I would actually move on to, as Katie said, the elements.
Yep.
And we have, in the elements, the rainbow is actually one of the elements.
Yep, so rainbow is air. Then you have fire, earth and water, but I think we sold out of water.
Yeah, there's a Grimm sale on. The Grimm stock is going down, down,
yeah,
down.
you've kind of bought all the things.
Yeah.
Probably should have done this on Saturday before we launched the sale.
We probably should have.
But yeah, I love these. They're great. They're irregular shapes, so they're not just arcs like you have in the rainbow. They're different shapes. You can use them in different ways. You can balance them in different ways. And I'm going to carp them all over the place because I'm not practicing what I'm doing. But you can get little creative towers. And balance is what it's all about with Grimms. So learning where the balance points are in different things and seeing how high you can go before it cipes.
She's going for it.
It's going to cipe. Okay.
Yay!
Yeah, I'd say good for children of all ages.
Yeah, and then, so that's the earth. And again, you can use it as a cave for
We've had caves and bears and scenes in the shop. We've had loads of different things.
Brought some Holsteiger out to do that, but
tunnels again. Alfie will sit and drive his tractors through it. Their sheds, you name it, they're played with, and they're played with flat out in our house.
So the elements are, and then the fire again. These are the large elements that come in small as well.
Yep, they do come in smaller pieces too. Again, the smaller pieces are thinner. Thicker ones are better for smaller children because they're that little bit chunkier and that little bit more resilient than the smaller, thinner pieces, which are quite fine and quite tricky to balance. So they give you, again, an even different element of play.
And again, can be combined with the people and the balls. So it's a great way to start up and build a set.
Yep.
So start with the medium rainbow, the balls and the people, then move on to your elements, either small or larger. The larger we feel is just chunkier for younger children that
smaller
are
little hands, easier to play with.
Chunk them over. We haven't got the water to show you, but again, you can use them. The water you can use to create waves and put your dolphins and stuff.
We have the water along with the blue whale and the little snail from Holsteiger for our A Snail and a Whale.
So great for story sacks.
So story sacks and everything, brilliant. And again, you've got Julian Donaldson did the big brown bear. Lives in the cave. This is your cave. Super.
And yeah, the Holsteiger and Grimm's combine so well.
They're a match made in heaven.
So the next thing that I like after that is to move on. I think these are great value is the Karsas, and they often get overlooked.
They do. I think they're fab. They're huge, big, chunky pieces, and they're really, really good value. I mean, the sizes of some of these are absolutely massive.
And again, all 0+. So great for younger kids.
And I mean, that's what, £10, £11? And they start at
£6.50 for the Onion House.
The Onion House, the smallest ones. Well, but even at the smallest ones, they're about that height. So they're, they're decent, chunky sizes, irregular shapes. So again, you can build with them, but it's not like your little cube building blocks. You can build all sorts of magical creations. We've had pictures of people have seen polar bears and squirrels and all sorts in there, and it's fab because it really is open-ended play and you can just utilise them in so many different ways.
And again, there's colour matching, so you can imagine, you can use that house there as fire.
Yep.
And, have a little campfire or whatever. You can use this as waves, again, put your whales and snails in there.
Yep.
So great. So don't overlook the cows. It's really great price point to start your sale. Really great for younger children.
They're great just as a puzzle for younger kids, and then as they grow up they can use them as like building blocks and create all sorts of masterpieces with them.
Again, that's one of the beauties of all of the Grimms, is that people often say, is my child too young for Grimms, is my child too old for Grimms? No no is the answer to that, because each child will get a different perspective and different play out of that toy. So a younger child might learn hand-eye coordination, with these type of toys. An older child is going to use that completely different and learn role play and other elements. That is the beauty of open-ended toys. There's no, age limit on them, or they're only good for 1-year-olds. They're great for across the board. So that's the Karsas. We love them. Often overlooked. Great value. Great for younger kids. And then the next thing we chose as your kind of third stage to building your Grimm's collection is, again,
really low overlooked, but I love the pebbles. So you've got moss, fire and water, and you can build towers with them.
And there's purple this year as a colour of the year.
And I can't wait for them to come out because
the purple
love
is beautiful.
The purple.
It's very Cadbury purple, which is a true Brummie. It's the only purple to have. I think it's the Pantone colour of the year, so there's a lot of Grimm stuff coming out. I'm sure you've seen photos of it. We did it on stand, and there's going to be purple pebbles, very limited edition, so we've ordered loads in. But yeah, so pebbles is the next thing, so you can obviously build.
Balance. And again, balance really is key with these toys. Balance. Children learn so much through using balance, and it teaches them all sorts. And these are great. So you can build them up into a little stack, you can stack them upside down, you can use them with any of the other pieces. And again, with Grimm's, it's all about building that collection and what you can do with one toy and what you can do whenever you've got 2 or 3 of the items from the range, because when you add them all in, there's just so many possibilities with them, and I think the pebbles are fab.
Someone's mentioned how large they are, and do you want to just pick them up there so you can see? They are really big, and yeah, you don't really see the value of that or see the size of them online, but they're big.
They're massive.
And again, you don't have to use them for balancing, you can use them for role play, for
decoration,
for everything. So that is a very, very brief. We don't want to keep you too long because we know our videos, because Katie likes to talk. Oh yes, the hearts. So to start off, and then after that, then you go on to your 12-piece rainbow. So Grimm's isn't all about the 12-piece rainbow. We recommend starting with a small, medium rainbow, balls and rainbow. That can rainbow friends. That can be your first little intro to Grimm's.
I'm going to grab a small rainbow, show you a different size.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. Move on to then elements, because we think, you know, there's great play in them. Then if you want to continue, the cars are fantastic. I actually think for a younger child, cars are a great toy to start with either, because they're so chunky that they can just really, learn about grasping them. We often get asked this question. Good call, Katie. Size difference in rainbow. So that
is the small rainbow. So fits into my hand. Great for in your handbag.
Fantastic for a handbag toy.
That is it against the medium rainbow. You got the angle there, okay?
Yeah, and that's it against the large as well. So after your cows, we recommend pebbles, and then from there you're probably going to be an expert in Grimm's, and then we'll know where you want to take your collection. So we're going to wrap this up quite quickly, and we're going to give one of you a £10 Grimm's voucher, which in the 15% off week is bargainious. Just tell us what was your first Grimm's toy and why it was, or if you haven't purchased Grimm's and you're sitting on the fence, what do you think your first Grimm's toy will be and why? Shout it out below. Let us know. I think we're going to be writing a blog on this as well, just for people who don't watch the video. We can probably add this to the videos. It helps. I know it's really great. I'm a great visual person. Once I see something, I can get it better. So that's it. A basic where to start with Grimm's for beginners guide. And shout out below. Remember to let us know why you bought the item, not just what it is. And one is on Sunday, on Super Sundays.
Super Sunday, before the sale ends, I promise.
And did we mention the heart?
The hearts. So with purchases over £60, and that excludes sale, you will get a free felt so good heart for Valentine's, because we're so nice to you.
And we love you all.
We do.
I'll just quickly, do you want to just ramble for 10 seconds while I read the questions?
Everybody loves it when Katie rambles.
Even though we said goodbye twice.
Yeah, we have.
We've had loads of highs.
What was my first Grimm's purchase?
What was your first Grimm's purchase?
I had a 12-piece, but I don't think it was the first thing we got. We have elements, but that wasn't the first thing we got. It might have been, yes, the building blocks and nets. I got those for Lily. I think that was our first Grimm's purchase.
The balls fit through the 6-piece rainbow. Yep. And you can make
little ball runs.
The balls are great.
Balls.
But I think the balls are probably one of my favourite.
Balls.
They're so well priced. It was.
Everybody, please ignore the fact that I just said that I love balls.
I think I did as well. Capri purple. I can't actually see any questions. Sorry if I've missed your question.
We'll look through comments later.
We'll look later. I can't see any. Someone just asked, that was the one question we've had, do the balls fit in the 6-piece? Yes, they do. You can run it through them. Probably won't run through the smallest pieces, but you can still make ball tracks and stuff. Just like that. There's loads of different ways you can make ball tracks.
But that's just sort of a bog standard one.
I think that's it for questions. Katie's just having fun now.
Yeah.
We've lost in a world of Grimm.
So
to win a £10 Grimm's voucher, just let us know either what was your first Grimm's toy and why, or if you're that on the fence, not sure about Grimm's, what's all the hype about, what do you think your first toy will be and why. Speak to you later and have a happy Tuesday. And don't forget there's 15% off and you get a free Felt heart with all orders over £60.
£60.
And we have more fun planned for later in the week. Bye.
Bye.